Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope all are doing great. I'm Shadowsun. I hope all are well. I talk all about visual impairment or blindness, witchcraft, Wicca, paganism, crystals, and other things. So in this video, I'm sharing great news. I'm also sharing tips for crystals around the home. I'm also going to share information on new moon, tips for the new moon, and some other updates, and setting up altars on a budget. So this is my third time making this video because every time I make this video, I'm not a fan of how it comes out. So, but also I just keep missing things that I want to mention. So I also encourage you all to check out my blog below because there's more on that information that I mentioned above there. So please check it out, and also this video. So let's get into it. So I mentioned in a previous video and blog that you can see links below on information I wanted to share with you all, some really good news. And more details to come. A lot of things are being ironed out. So I'm going back to university, and it was a big decision. I took a lot of time to make that decision, and I felt like it was the right decision for me. I'm really excited to get back into the communications arena and more on the emphasis of what I'm going to work on, and more on that later. I'm also a little nervous just because of the getting out and just really getting back into things like travel and all that stuff, and just kind of learning a new environment. But I'm also excited because I'm going to meet new people and get into things, so I'm really here for that. So definitely stay tuned on all platforms because I will be sharing all the things that goes with it. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Hope you all stay tuned for that. So going into Crohn's disease and content updates. So I'm doing okay. I'm still in remission as far as my Crohn's is concerned. I have days where I do need rest, and I just need to just kind of let my body do what it needs to do. I have symptoms sometimes, so I do take that time to rest, and I want to share more on Crohn's disease on all platforms because I want to give back to the community. I want to share tips and resources, what's helped me, tips for the newly diagnosed, what resting looks like for me, and in the sense of I'm not going to share everything, but I'm going to share enough that I feel comfortable sharing it, because this is a disease that not a lot of people know about. So definitely going to stay tuned for that if you are interested in learning about it. If you're not, don't worry, I have stuff for witchy content. I want to do witchy tips and more on crystals and meditating, and I've been saying that for a while, but it's definitely happening, so it's going to take some time. The consistency might be a little off right now, but stay tuned with me and I will do my best to be consistent. It just might take some time. So moving into the crystals around the home, you do not have to use grids. That is a personal choice. I like to use grids, so when I do, say for example, rest and relaxation or stress relief, I will use sodalite or citrine or hematite for grounding, and you can use it for all kinds of purposes, and they don't have to be in just your altar space, or just if you work with crystals just because you work with crystals, you can put them in a dish and keep the grid from moving as much. You can put the grid in a box if you live in a small space, or even in a larger space. You can keep it on a small coffee table, a side table, in the central part of your home if you need more prosperity, or on a mantelpiece. If you're doing protection, you can do it on an entryway or entryways. I like to not have my grids disturbed, so I usually tell people that. You can use all manner of crystals if you're using it to keep you relaxed. Amethyst, sodalite, good choices. If you're doing prosperity, jade, malachite, citrine for bringing forth new opportunities, and also tiger eye or tiger's eye and adventuring are good options. So you can use a dish, you can use a table, like I said, a box. You can put it, I would say put it up high for if you have kids or pets, if you were worried about them knocking them over or something. Definitely do take care of that. I didn't mention that in the blog, but I had planned to. So definitely keep that in mind. So for sure, those are some options for crystal grids. And you can also use these options for altar setups on a budget as well. And I have a whole blog on altar setups on a budget. And those are very personal choices. I'm just sharing what works for me. Some people will use the elements as a guide, so putting candles at the four corners of a table, a box. I wouldn't recommend like actual candles in a box, because if you're gonna light them, you would want to put something on top of it that's fireproof, or put in a fireproof bowl. I've put like certain things in a bowl one time to use as a pinch for an altar. Like I'd put like crystals surrounding the four, like if it's a large bowl, like around the four corners, and maybe like a birthday candle in the middle if I was in a hurry, or just using herbs to represent the elements, or crystals. You can do that too. If you can't burn candles, you can use flameless candles, and you can also use because I used to keep the incense in the candles and just not light them, but if you live in a space where you can't have any of that, then definitely use battery operated candles, rocks you find in the yard, twigs, sticks, and set it up how you feel is right for you. These are just suggestions. You can use the shape of the box, the design of the box. Maybe the box has a theme, or something you resonate with. You can use pictures on the sides of the box to represent the elements at the four corners, or like around the box as the box goes around. You can use a crystal wand, or other things that you have around lying around your house, whatever you feel you need. I like to personally like dedicate or consecrate all my items, so if I use something for an altar, I usually do that, but that's not part of everybody's practice, so do what you feel is best for your practice. But you can use anything that you have available to you, and set it up how you want. I say research as many altars as you can, and budget ideas for those. I've even seen altars in a tin, like literally an Altoids tin, and I thought it was the coolest thing, like a pocket altar if you needed somewhere to go in a hurry. Those are good for travel, so definitely check those out. I've made one of those. I've made an altar out of a bag, like a felt bag or a crocheted bag. You could definitely do that. Didn't mention that in the blog either, but definitely worth the look. So those are some ideas. And finally, we're on to the tips for the new moon. So for the new moon, I feel it's a good time for manifesting of all kinds. New opportunities, blessings, spells for cleansing or manifesting growth or health stuff. It's on a Tuesday this time around, so you could even do it for other purposes, like different correspondences for Tuesday, like working with the energy of Mars and fire, or working with it to bring forth like something to help you through a difficult situation, new opportunities, an open door, so to speak. I like to start projects during a new moon on a more like everyday level. So for example, if I'm starting a new, journal prompt for the season, or a Book of Shadows prompt for the season, or if I'm working on spell or something, I might, begin crafting those, or I might do something really more like everyday level. I know I mentioned everyday level before, and I ended up talking about like spells and stuff, but like say I was starting a new job, or starting a new semester, maybe getting my stuff ready for that. And it sounds so everyday, like just typical stuff, but it does help. So yeah, those are some good ideas for the new moon. You can manifest and keep your manifestations. You can burn them. I like to keep them on my person for a bit until it's manifested, or I'll burn it that day and just let it do what it needs to do. Let the energies flow where they need to flow, and let them manifest. Writing your manifestations in the present tense is a very good idea. So those are some tips for the new moon. Hope everybody's having a great one. Definitely share this video if you find it helpful, and subscribe if you find this video helpful as well. I'm really looking forward to everything. So also read the blog below, and hope everybody's having a good one. See you on the next video. Many blessings.